Morning, everybody. Happy Sunday again. You know, I was just reading a little thing on the amount of government fraud. And they pull up statistics. And I'm with all you folks out there. When I pull this stuff up and look on Google and other places and they give me these numbers, we all know they're bullshit numbers. It's much higher than what they ever say, especially if it's something they're doing wrong. But they say it's between $233 billion to $531 billion a year. A year. So here's my question though. How do you know that number of fraud and no one's been caught? So you know the fraud's happening. You can account for the fraud numbers, but it happens yearly? That's what it says. Yearly, 233 to 531 billion dollars. Well, so you have an annual report on at least at that number, and it's probably trillions. So how do you not catch the people if you can count the numbers? You've just got to follow the money after that. It's so bad in this country with the fraud at the upper echelon level, okay? And on top of that, the way they just clean our bank accounts out, and then on top of that, want to take our property if you can't afford the 5 cents that you got left. It's such a crime what's going on. And I never advocate for violence in the streets because I believe if we unite as a country, the people who are trying to do this to us can go and we can change our lives. But it's just so blatantly clear what's happening and no one cares anymore. And what I'm really sick of, and here's the biggest thing, and I know all of you feel the same, I'm sick of not seeing people in handcuffs, and I'm sick and tired of them getting away with it because they annually do it and no one's ever caught. And on top of that, they don't even know where that money is going. They just know there's a number. So it's getting divided up amongst these little groups of people, probably globally, that are telling everybody else what to do. Come on, folks. I don't dislike anybody in this country that much to where I would not want fraud and corruption ended. You know, just blatantly being done. And there's people who will argue that we'll never be able to stop it. Well, with that specific attitude, and honestly, you have to come together and vote these people out, and then common folk people who are sick of it have to go after them because they're all part of that club. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. They give their buddies a pass. You know, I go to my buddy Ranfreeze all the time. If he did something stupid and I could get him out of it, folks, I'd do it. He's my brother. Plus, I love going there to eat food. I'd starve. So, bottom line is I'm just sick and tired of seeing these corrupt people get away with it and then constantly hit us harder for more money. We have got to come together and end this. You know, I posted a video yesterday of where a gentleman, I think his name's, I want to say Dan Frank, don't quote me on that. I'm just trying to remember because he had sent me it and we chatted a little bit. We talked about Ross Perot. Ross Perot was big into data centers, as a matter of fact. He was a data guy. I didn't know that, to be honest with you. And I talked to this gentleman, and they're designing a software where they can use it in communities and local cities and get local people more involved to vote on things that are going to change the way our lives are at that level. But if you can do that throughout every city in our country, just think of how much more people are informed. We're all on the same page. You get to vote on what the city needs. You don't really need council members at that point because we the people are doing it. How can 6 people like this gentleman talk about represent 150,000? There's going to be divide in that number. So if everybody has input and the majority of the people voting get to bring that topic up later in a more professional arena, I guess, or legislative arena, then that's what they do. But it made good sense. So if y'all didn't see it, I put it on there to just click and watch. He talks about it. It's like a 5-minute read, 5 or 6 minute video. I believe the gentleman's name's Dan Frank. And like I said, don't quote me on that. But it was very interesting. I chatted with him a little bit and then posted that because if we can start to be more involved at our local levels, you'll almost start to enjoy the outcome of the way you're living and want that on a nationwide arena. Anyhow, folks, have a good Sunday. Let's try to come together. And I honestly want everyone to know I try to go through and read all the comments. Sometimes there's a lot, good or bad. I put a thumb or a heart, just letting people know I seen it. I'll answer some. I'll even answer some bad ones or try to bring up debate. Folks, I don't dislike anybody or want to argue with anybody. That doesn't get anything accomplished. So when I see real stupid comments underneath one of the videos, it's like, how is that helping us? You know? And everybody who says things with Trump in it is just like, he's going to be gone in like 28 months, 29 months, whatever it is. And y'all are stuck on that. Is your life expectancy only 28 months? Because I plan on living a lot longer than that. And I want people in this country to be living a lot better than they are right now. I want less fraud. And I definitely want to see senior citizens, vets, and disabled people taken care of. All right, folks, have a good Sunday.